back to another episode of Learn Japanese from Some Guy. In today's video, we're going to look at chapter 11 of my textbook, where we are going to practice using masen. So if you remember from chapter 10, we learned how to conjugate verbs to the mas form. So now today, we are going to learn how to conjugate them to their negative form, the masen form. So if you haven't seen chapter 10 or you're still not really quite sure how to conjugate to the mas form, I recommend going back and watching that before watching this chapter. If you understand, then we're all ready to go and we can get started. So, 始まりましょうか。よろしくお願いします。Alright everyone, here we are, chapter 11, making verbs negative with masen. Okay, so now that we know how to find the mas stem of a verb, we can begin expressing ourselves in a multitude of ways. Okay, and the first thing we're going to learn now is how to make verbs negative with masen. Okay, so to make a verb negative, first all we have to do is find the mas stem of a verb. So if you've seen chapter 10, then you already know how to do that. And instead of appending mas to the stem, we're just going to append masen. Okay, and that's it. That's all there is to make a verb negative in Japanese. And this works the same for type 1, type 2, and type 3 verbs. So it's really easy. Okay, so here we have some examples that we'll just go through really quickly. So we have the dictionary form of the verb up here in this column, kao, to buy. And here in this column, we have the stem, the mas stem. So kao, the mas stem is kai, and then we just add masen. Kau, kai, kaimasen. Won't buy, don't buy. Very easy. Next one we have nomu, to drink. So nomu, the mas stem is nomi. We add masen, and we get nomimasen. Will not drink. Don't drink. We have iku, the verb for to go. The stem is iki. Add masen, we get ikimasen. So it's very easy. So this works. These are our type 1 verbs. So it works this way for all type 1 verbs. And then here we have taberu, the type 2 verb for to eat. So taberu, mas stem is tabe. Add masen, we get tabemasen. Miru becomes mimasen. Nageru becomes nagemasen. So type 1, type 2 verbs all work the same. Just add masen to the mas stem and you get the negative form. Very easy. And here we have our type 3 verbs. You'll remember we went over last time. So suru becomes shimasen. Kuru becomes kimasen. And please note that the character here is pronounced ku in the dictionary form, but here, just like with kimas, it's pronounced kimasen. So this part changes. It's a little irregular, but not a big deal. Once you see it, you'll know how to read it if you study enough. All right, and now we're just going to look at some example sentences with the masen form. The verbs will be highlighted in purple, so they're easy to see. So number 1, 私は納豆を食べません。私は納豆を食べません。I don't eat natto. And also please note that we could also say, translate the sentence as I won't eat natto. Again, remember the meaning of a sentence in Japanese depends a lot on context. And since we don't have any context, it could be I don't eat or I won't eat. It depends, but the sentence would be the exact same. And let's see here, we have a pro tip, so let's check it out, number 8. So it says, natto is an extremely popular food in Japan. It's made of fermented soybeans. Okay, so it's really hard to imagine what a fermented soybean looks like, so we got a little picture here. But natto is a staple in most Japanese people's diets. So everybody eats it over there, and it's really popular, really well known for its bad smell. So if you go to Japan and you smell something bad, it could be natto, but it's really healthy and it actually doesn't taste that bad. So if you go to Japan or if you have like a Japanese market near you, try it. It's really good. But before you eat it, make sure to stir it up. That's very, very important. All right, so moving on. Number 2, 私はボールを投げません。私はボールを投げません。I won't throw the ball. And here we have the katakana word for ball, boru. So as you can see, it sounds very similar to ball, boru. I won't throw the ball. Number 3, 犬は出てきません。犬は出てきません. The dog won't come out. And this verb right here is from deru. And we'll look a little later how to conjugate in chapter 29, I think, how to conjugate verbs to the te form. But so for now, this might be a little difficult, but don't worry about the conjugation of this particular part. Just notice the kimasen, dete kimasen, won't come out. Number 4, 私は テレビを見ません。私はテレビを見ません。I don't watch television. I don't watch TV. And here we have the katakana word for television. So, Japanese people love to make things short. We'll look at some other examples later, but, instead of saying television, they just say terebi, television. So Japanese people love to shorten words. And number 5, あの猫は落ちてきません。あの猫は落ちてきません。That cat won't fall. Okay, so here we have the verb 落ちる, conjugated in the te form, which we'll look at again in chapter 29. We have 来ません. Won't come down, won't fall down. And number 6, 私はスーツを着ません。私はスーツを着ません。I don't wear suits. So obviously this katakana word sounds almost the exact same, スーツ and suits, to the English word. All right, so now that we've gone through some examples and we've seen how to conjugate verbs to the ma-sen form, we have some practice problems. Okay, so here in the left column, we have the verb in the dictionary form. And here, I want you guys to write the ma-sen form of the verb. Okay, so I think we have 9 problems. So I'm going to make this a little smaller so we can fit them all on one page. Okay, good. All right, so now pause the video and then we'll check our answers. And when you write, make sure that you write your answers in hiragana and, kanji if you can. All right, so I'm assuming you've answered the questions. So now we'll check our answers. Number 1, 食べる becomes 食べません. So here we have our type 2 verb. We just drop る and add ません. 食べる 食べません. Number 2, 飲む becomes 飲みません. 死ぬ死にません。するしません。読む読みません。走る走りません。話す話しません。来る来ません。And finally, 出る出ません。All right, so here we have some verbs that we went over before. We all know 食べる、飲む. But some of them I think might be new. 走る. I think maybe hanasu. Those are some new ones. But even though we've learned these verbs already, these are very common verbs you'll see every day. So kind of going over them many times will help you remember and memorize the meanings. But anyway, so learn these words, practice writing the kanji, and let's see. Before we finish today's chapter, we're just going to go over a quick summary of what we learned. Like I said, today's video is really short, but anyway, so basically today all we learned was how to conjugate a verb into the ma-sen form. So the negative form of mas is ma-sen. So 食べます、食べません。走ります、走りません。知ります、知りません。Okay? And to conjugate a verb to the ma-sen form, we just append ma-sen to the mas stem. Okay, so if you can find the mas stem of a verb, then you automatically know how to make it negative. Just add ma-sen. It's very easy. All right, and next time we're going to look at chapter 12, and we're going to practice making verbs negative with 9. Okay, so today we made verbs negative with ma-sen, and for those of you who have a little more experience with Japanese, you probably already know that most people, when they speak, don't use ma-sen, they like to use 9. So instead of saying 食べません, they say 食べない, or 走りません, 走らない. Okay, so the conjugation is a little different. Requires a little more work, but it's very easy. And so now we're going to start getting into a little more casual, more commonly spoken Japanese. Okay, so now that we have a little foundation of polite and formal Japanese, we can start to build off that and learn more casual Japanese that we can speak with our friends. Okay, so we'll do that next time, and be sure to check that out. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for today's chapter. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe if you wish to get updated on when future videos are released. Also, if you feel like you want to study ahead or you want to help support this series, my book is available for purchase on Amazon, the link for which you can find in the description box below. As always, I appreciate your guys' comments and reviews, so be sure to let me know what you think. Anyway, that's going to do it for today, so we'll see you next time. Mata ne. guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe if you wish to get updated on when future videos. And be sure to subscribe if you want to know when the next video is released. Also, remember, my book's available for purchase on Amazon. If you want to support the series, or you're just so motivated, you want to, it's the exact same thing as before. All right, take 15. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this video, chapter, it's a chapter. You know it's a chapter. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's chapter. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe if you wish to get videos. If you want to get videos, just subscribe. You can get videos. Makes sense. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you want to get updated on when future videos are released. Next time. Also, if you want to support this series or you feel like you want to study ahead, remember my book is available for purchase on Amazon. You can find the link for which. Does that even make sense? All right, take 58. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe if you want to get updated on when future videos are released. Also, be sure to subscribe if you want to get updated on when the next video is released.